Welcome to today's 5-minute Bible study in the book of Hebrews. We're still looking at Hebrews chapter 11, the great chapter on faith. Now, in yesterday's session, we started looking at Abraham, the great man of faith. Now, we've already seen, and I introduced this yesterday, that the author of Hebrews gives us three demonstrations or three illustrations from Abraham's life of how he lived by faith. We're going to look at them each in turn for the next three sessions. Now, the one we'll look at today is Abraham showing faith by leaving his homeland to go to a new country that God called him to. Hebrews 11, verse 8. By faith, Abraham, when called to go to a place that he would later receive as his inheritance, he obeyed and he went, even though he did not know where he was going. By faith, he made his home in the promised land, like a stranger in a foreign country. So the first aspect of Abraham's life that demonstrated how much faith he had was when God called him to leave his homeland, the only place he had ever known, and go to a new land, a land he did not know, but that God promised would one day be his inheritance. Abraham heard the call, and he went. Now we read about this in the book of Genesis, chapter 12, verse 1, where it says, "The Lord said to Abraham, go from your country and your people and your father's household to a land that I will show you." Abraham's journey began, his journey of faith began when he went to a land, a new country that God would show him. You know, faith is always taking God at his promise. And oftentimes we find that God directs us into new places, into new paths to travel, into new journeys to undertake, to live in new places. God directs us to new things. And often we can't see all the way. Often the places are new to us, and we just have to trust that God will lead us. Abraham had never been to the promised land before. He had never been to this new country. He had never been to Canaan. But because God said go, he went. And because God said this will one day be yours, it will belong to your descendants, Abraham knew it would be true. Now, he lived all of his days as a pilgrim in the land. He never possessed it for himself, but he knew that his descendants would, because he knew that God was faithful. God's promises can be trusted. Abraham believed God, and so he went to the new land. You know, oftentimes in our life, God's going to call us to follow him step by step. We can't see everything that will come. We can't see all the future, but we know that if God directs us, it will be good. We will be secure. We can travel into new places, into a new country, as it were, because God directs us. That's faith. That's saving faith. Abraham shows us is to hear the call of God, to trust the promises of God, and to go where he leads us, even if that place is new to us. There's an old hymn we sometimes sing in the church. I used to sing a lot when I was growing up. It may be in the valley where countless dangers hide, or it may be in the sunshine that I in peace abide. But this one thing I know, if it be here or there, if Jesus goes with me, I'll go anywhere. If Jesus goes with me, I'll go anywhere. It's heaven to me, wherever it may be, if he is there. I count it a privilege now, his cross to bear. For if Jesus goes with me, I'll go anywhere. Abraham was willing to go anywhere that God called him to go because he trusted God. And he went to the new country, the promised land, the land of Canaan. Are we willing to go anywhere as long as Jesus leads us? Wherever he takes us, let's go. To follow him is what it means to live by faith.